Greetings to all. Since my channel here is aimed at Kaiju number 8 inches to gather a basic audience for this anime and manga, I am embarking on the most painful task for myself, creating tops. On the agenda, the top 10 strongest characters from the anime and manga, Kaiju number 8. So, let's go. 10th place, Kaiju number 12. I won't say much new about him. 9 points of fortitude, unrealistic speed, power, and strength above the level of basic Kaiju. Kaiju number 10 inches dominated Hoshina in a pumped-up suit for a certain time, and then went into parity due to the fact that Hoshina finally advanced to the end as a hero. Because of the large fortitude and unrealistic physical parameters, I put it so high. 9th place, Hoshina in the version with a costume from the 10th Kaiju. The dude is super fast, super mobile, and hits very hard. Without the costume, he could even cut Kaiju number 8. He is the fastest character in the version, excluding Kaiju number 8 and possibly Kaiju number 9. Such physical parameters calmly allow him to defeat the lower ones on the list. 8th place, Kaiju number 13. Are you surprised? Right? Who does not know? The 13th owns Fortitude 9.2, and all its characteristics are aimed at physical parameters. It's like a question here. Is he faster than number 12 and Hoshin himself? It's unknown, but purely by fortitude it should. And he increases his muscles to increase his speed, so let's say he's faster. Then in the last thesis about Hoshin himself, I will add that number 13 is an exception, because having such a large fortitude and completely tied to the speed of physical power, he must at least be faster than his fellow lesser fortitude. 7th place, Kaiju number 10. Here you are, 100% surprised. How is it? Because number 12 is the completed number 10. But in fact, if you look, number 12 is the completed basic form of number 10, which has a fortitude of 8.3. In peak form, number 10 also has a fortitude of 9 points, and also has much larger dimensions. Eyes in all places, an increase in speed, which made it possible in exceptional situations to dominate Hoshina without a pumped suit. Number 10 can also control other kaijus. That is, in fact, number 9, he was identified as a prototype due to the fact that apparently the 10th simply exceeded his expectations and was not subordinate, but on the contrary subordinated the surrounding kaiju. Also among his phrases, "Even few kaiju can argue with me." Perhaps he fought with number 9 himself, and if he survived, it means at least a draw, since it is known that number 9 can absorb kaiju and become stronger, which is why he would stupidly devour a crappy prototype. At the disposal of the 10th, there is a bunch of Peters that can explode and have a fortitude of 6.4 points, also in the second form, in which case he can turn into a bomb and can stupidly explode, and he himself remains alive, and the explosion there is colossal. In the case of an explosion, it is not the force of the impact of the 8th, but the detonation of the 10th. Logically, he had to go lower in order to explode with everyone else. At the same time, he will remain alive and be cured. It's because of this explosion mechanics that it's so high. Conventionally, number 12 or 13, he will not win in a direct collision, but he will hit them very hard with explosions of bullets, as well as with his second form. And of course, in the end, he will simply destroy them with an explosion. There is a possibility that he will subdue them in exactly the same way as the 9th. And even if there is an explosion, it will not subdue them. He'll survive the explosion, but Kaiju probably won't. 6th place, Narumi Gen, just a killing machine. High stats so much that he broke through the peak Kaiju number 9. He has the prediction of literally everything, real foresight, which is why he has no equal in close combat. Also, his shots easily penetrate the fortitude of 9.0 points, and he also blew up the 9th's hand with a shot. I set it high because the shots are hard, and the kick itself is actually hard too. In the case of even the explosion of the Turs and number 10 itself, I think Narumi banally foresees this and is offended. Well, he can also destroy the core much earlier than its transformation into a bomb, because Narumi has a natural X-ray. Because of this, he sees where the core is. I think Narumi has a better net chance, although the 10th one can blow him up. 5th place, Ren Ichikawa. No one expected to see him 100% at all, especially in the top 5. But that's right, I'm putting him here because he has the power of Kaiju number 6 himself. He was considered the strongest, of course, before the appearance of the 8th and 9th. Total freezing of everything and everything, an unrealistic reaction, which is achieved by unrealistic rates of brain signal transmission. Perhaps he is the top one in reaction in the version because of this ability. Kaiju number 6 had a furious fortitude of 9.6 points, as well as an army of satellites, each above 8.0 fortitude points. His very freezing ability is wildly imbecile and stupidly humiliates all the lower ones on the list with instant freezing and destruction. A wildly strong character, he destroyed just a gigantic number of Dai Kaiju above the 8th fortitude in just seconds. This is an unrealistic achievement. There is an indication that Ren has already mastered the power of the 6th Kaiju. Of course, it is not known how much, but it is impressive. I think so, and in an emergency situation, he may succumb to temptation number 6 in order to gain gigantic strength and further kill the enemy. But he himself will most likely die at the same time. 4th place, Kaiju number 6. Well, I've already said everything about him before. 9.6 fortitude, unrealistic freezing ability, Kaiju control, and gigantic size. 3rd place, Ashiromina. Yes, she's pretty weak in close combat, but guys, she easily killed 9.0 fortitude with one shot from a cannon. Far from the railgun. There may be a different level of power in a railgun, it's scary to imagine. I think potentially one such shot from a railgun, and number 9 will 100% die. Well, not 100% most likely. I put it so high because literally one shot and you will die. There were words that Ashiro could destroy Kaiju number 6 with one shot. That is, to destroy Fortitude 9.6 with one shot. You understand, this is an unrealistic force, which is why a worthy 3rd place. 2nd place, Kaiju number 9. I think everything is extremely obvious. Unrealistic regeneration, shots of some invisible stuff at a speed faster than the reaction of the eye. The 9th himself has great physical strength and the strength of Kaiju number 2 plus the entire strength of the general. He has a giant army of 4 Daikaiju with a fortitude above 9.0 points, and also with 50 plus or minus, again, Daikaiju with a fortitude of 8.0. And of course, in small things, all sorts of different Kaiju below the Daikaiju. I will not list all his achievements, because for a long time, a separate video is needed for this. 1st place, Kaiju number 8. Stronger than Kaiju with a fortitude of 9.8, literally a car. His strength is so gigantic that he literally stopped the strongest attack of number 13, with a fortitude of 9.2 with his hand, with my fucking hand, without straining. At the same time, he killed him with all one blow. I have a giant question for the author. Why, given the strength of number 8, he cannot break through number 9, when even Narumi broke through the 9th, whose power of shots and punches are not even close to the 8th. I repeat, not even by an inch. In fact, one stroke of the 8th should put the 9th in the grave without a chance. The 8th has unreal speed, unreal strength, and there is also a frenzied regime where all this is elevated to the absolute. Thus, he can be called the most powerful character in the work. Kaiju number 8. That's all. Like and subscribe to the channel.